My name's Bithead 1000, and that's a giant dick. Listen, when I'm not cleaning up dog shit or getting yelled at by my screaming wife and kid, I'm listening to the Over the Top podcast with my man Trevor with the 4K face.
Hey everyone, Trevor at Top Loaded Gaming, and I'm joined with my buddy Jason from Overthink Gaming. What's going on, Jason?
What's up, dude? I'm just chilling, just trying to, I don't know, I guess trying to cope with all this coronavirus shit going on, man. How about you,
dude,
man?
I'm terrified, bro.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? Dude, you went extreme, man. I won't hear pay attention how the camera works at the beginning of the fucking, podcast, making sure everything. And I'm like, yeah, wow.
Okay. You didn't even have my camera up. I figured you didn't. And then we talking for a little while, and then I fucking brought this out.
Oh shit, the face shield. Oh my god.
Hey everyone, Trevor at Top Loaded Gaming. I'm joined, as always, by my buddy Jason from Overthink Gaming. What's up, Jason?
What's up, dude? I'm just over here trying not to catch that coronavirus, man.
Right?
Going crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
shit. You fucking demonetized the channel already, dude. I can't fucking believe it.
Yeah, hey, man, a lot of people, I don't know, I swear YouTube raised that, where they took that, you can say the word now and actually monetize your videos. I don't know. A lot of people aren't risking it, but dude, it's going crazy over here in my city. At first, all the jokes, I was part of the jokes, joking around. And at a time like this, I think the jokes are good, so people won't panic. But dude, the panic is going crazy. The grocery stores are out of everything. They had to implement the hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is just effective. I believe tonight's the first night they closed. Yeah, dude, I actually was able to make it to the grocery store because they put a limit. I'm not sure if you've seen the toilet paper fights online, man. There was some woman that attacked another woman just for trying to grab one of the toilet papers. It was crazy.
I didn't see it, but I saw something in real life. They had this fucking lady at a CVS locally to me. She was like, "Is that all the stock y'all have? Do y'all not have any more in the back?" And I'm like, oh my god, lady, I get that everybody's kind of fucking, nerves are shot and everybody's a little afraid or whatever, but don't add to the shit, It's just like, fucking, and she probably that's probably the third trip she's made to a different store for fucking toilet paper that she's got a bunch stacked in her fucking vehicle already,
Yeah.
Like just stockpiling fucking toilet paper,
Man, people are going crazy at Costco.
It's been almost a week that you can't fucking get any kind of hand sanitizer. That shit's just fucking gone. And when I was at the CVS, I asked the lady, "Do y'all have any hand sanitizer?" "No, but the dollar store not far from here is supposed to get a shipment in today of hand sanitizer." So I went over there. It was on my way, stopping. And there's a fucking line of people waiting for this fucking truck that may never fucking show up. For people for fucking hand sanitizer. I'm like, what the fuck? And this was like 5 fucking days ago, when I first got off of work.
Everyone needs to contact that guy that was going around that kind of went viral, that has over 17,000 hand sanitizers, but he got kicked off Amazon and eBay for selling his products a little too high. That dude got word of it, I guess, when the first person came to US or something like that, and just started going around making trips, just buying all the stores out, man. And
so he's fucking he was trying to scalp the shit.
Yeah. He's running like a little business, man. And the picture shows, I believe it's from his garage, dude, and you just see all his product in the back. It's not just hand sanitizer. He has all the stuff people want. And but the headline says hand sanitizer over 17,000, I think. And dude,
good. So Amazon shut him down.
That's the story. I didn't actually read into the article, but that's what the headline says. And other YouTubers are talking about it. I saw a couple of videos, but I didn't get too deep into it because I know a lot of people are like, there's people against it, people for it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of like, you don't need to grab so damn much. I mean, I understand a lot of people are into like the capitalism thing and all that. Like, there's a certain time, but in a crisis like this, that people need that shit, man. Especially if it has to do with kids, like formula and fucking baby wipes and diapers and shit like that. Like, dude, come on, man. You gonna make money off people at a time like this? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
legally, I guess you can do it, but people are still gonna fucking call you a piece of shit, and then it's
Yeah.
up to all these companies like Amazon or eBay or whatever, whether they're gonna consider that, uh, something that they're willing to fucking, let be done on their website or whatever.
there's a bunch of jokes too of people like drug dealing, selling toilet paper, but there was really a person on one of the highways over here called Austin Highway. I got a text from one of my friends saying that there's someone out there selling toilet paper. I'm like, dude, that person's gonna get their ass kicked or something like that. You don't try to do that. I don't know. The way I see it, there's got to be some people that are desperate that they don't give a fuck right now.
Well, that's what I feel like about fucking society at large right now is like we're teetering on this fucking like the brink of society collapsing as a fucking whole. Like if the fucking power were to go out right now in really anywhere, I think it would devolve very fucking quickly into fucking madness. You'd have fucking people looting stores and
Yeah.
wait until like 5 or 6 people go hungry or something because of this. It'll fucking devolve really fucking quickly.
Oh yeah, it'll change shit real quick. And also like I've always said that like I was thinking this during the situation. Like I've always thought like that's why they don't tell us about aliens. People will panic like crazy, man. Over here, I'm sure you guys got hit too with the hurricane that happened. Was it like 2 years ago or something like that in our area down here in Texas? I forgot which hurricane that was.
Yeah,
hurricane,
I don't
dude,
remember the
the
name.
gas shortage. Did you guys have a gas shortage? People were
Not-
getting
not-
gas like crazy.
Not really. Not
Oh,
really.
over
We
here,
did.
you
We
couldn't find
did
gas,
during.
dude.
We did during Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, it was pretty bad over here. You couldn't find gas at all, and then you saw people with like trucks with big old, I don't know where they got these big old gas containers that they were just filling all that shit up, man. And then people buying
Yeah.
bunch of like the small gallons, the little red ones you find, just filling them all up, man. And I need gas for work, man. Like, and stuff like that. I couldn't get gas. I actually started getting kind of afraid, but luckily we managed, I managed to find gas in certain areas, but people were probably gouging the gas in the little mom and pop shops. It was bad, man. And I saw panic there, but now I think it's everywhere, and that makes it worse, man, than just being like part of South Texas. Seeing it everywhere, all over the world, not just the United States. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So did you see this guy on Joe Rogan? I forget his name. I'm looking for it. But he worked for the CDC, I think.
Yeah.
Michael
You know what?
Osterholm.
I caught about the first maybe 35 minutes. 8 minutes is just the commercials, dude. The sponsors, but I caught little bit of it, man.
Well, if you
I
watch
didn't get
that
to finish
much,
it.
they get into it pretty quickly. If you
Oh, yeah,
caught
yeah.
the first 35 minutes of it, that was actually kind of a lot of what they said, because they talk about a bunch of bullshit, like
Yeah.
deers and ticks and all kind of fucking shit you wouldn't expect that they would have talked about, because it's Joe Rogan. But
Yeah. Him is hunting with elk and all that. He brings up some wild shit.
right. So he's the director of the CDC. So is it
Yeah.
Center for Infectious Disease Research and Policy?
Something I always think Walking Dead when I hear that, but yeah, it just was kind of wild because he was what I do remember is the guy was kind of promoting his book, but like he was already predicting a lot of this, and he's already on there. They're saying it's gonna go worldwide, which I think it is. I mean, a lot of us thought like it would never hit us, and then like Italy was good, and then also like 3 days later, it's like damn, and like right now, it's like I guess we were like thinking it wasn't gonna hit us, and now see the way we're acting. And in the summer, I have a trip planned to go there in Mexico. Like I went this past year, go over there, see the nice clear waters of the ocean, and I'm like, it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, because one of the
It's probably
things
not
he
gonna
was
happen.
saying was this is gonna be like the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. When he said 6 months, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because he saw it happening way before, and I'm like, dang, I'm really not hoping. I was saying my buddy that
It's like 3 to 6 months of this shit. Something's got to give, I don't like, for example, if a bunch of people go out of work, then they're gonna have to probably issue some sort of stimulus, kind of like they did with Hurricane Katrina in my area back when all of that shit went down. But the thing that kind of worries me about that is for Hurricane Katrina specifically, they issued some stimulus things, and I remember people had to go to a government building.
Oh my God.
And it was like lines wrapped around the block. It was like an all-day event, 12 plus hours fucking waiting in line or whatever. And it's like, well, that's not gonna fucking help, making large fucking crowds of people, and if they just issue like direct deposits to people's accounts, are we still gonna have a fucking bank system at that point? It's just so many fucking things to
I didn't
contemplate.
think that deep about it, man. Yeah, that's pretty deep, dude. Like, shit,
Maybe they'll issue like fucking debit cards, and I don't even know, because I saw one lady tweeting something like, if I'm not allowed to go to work, I'm not paying my fucking bills,
Yeah.
and it's like that's gonna be a lot of the fucking sentiment from people, I would think. If they're forced to not go to work, I mean, how are they gonna pay their bills, first of all? And then second of all, what incentive do they have to fucking pay their bills? It's not really their fucking fault that this is happening. So
Yeah. And what's kind of crazy is that, I've been a technician forever, man. I've worked so many jobs being a technician in so many different fields. And I remember a lot of people I worked with would always say, like, they're always going to need us. They're always going to need people to fix things and stuff like that. And, I've heard other people with other jobs, but what's kind of crazy is how bad this is getting. Even those jobs, even my job right now is like we're slowing things down. And I'm like, man, there's a lot of jobs just have people at home that can't do anything. I'm like, dude, it's real serious, man. So I think, I mean, supposedly, I don't know if this is going to go down, but I'm not sure if you heard about San Francisco already. Is it San Francisco that they already went into a lockdown, dude, that you can only go out during so whatever hours, I believe, and it's just for like doctor appointments and grocery store visits. I think that's it.
really,
Supposedly we're supposed to get locked down over here. I think this is all through text message, so nothing's official yet. It could change, it could be all official by the time we upload this. But supposedly here in Texas, we're supposed to get that. Like a Dallas already got it, and I think we're next. But it's one of those things. Like my friend knows somebody that knows somebody, so I don't want,
right?
it's
Yeah,
not official.
and that happens a lot during
Yeah.
shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
dude, during Hurricane Katrina, when we got back down here, because my family had evacuated, but when we got back down here, it was kind of considerably early. We had came down probably about an hour and a half away from our house to a friend of the family's house that kept us there for about a week. And then something happened where the roads magically fucking got cleared way earlier than we were thinking, and we fucking came home, and the power was out for like fucking another 2 weeks, at least, from what I remember. And you heard all of these fucking rumors, even on the fucking radio, because we had radios with like little batteries. I mean, this was fucking pre-smartphone, days.
Yeah.
But we had a fucking radio, and they were like fucking, oh, this bus overturned with a bunch of fucking inmates. Now, why was a bus traveling during a fucking hurricane? You didn't really fucking think of that. You were just thinking, oh, fucking a bunch of prisoners escaped, and
Yes.
there was another rumor that somebody fucking killed a baby. All of this fucking shit was happening. You had fucking people like making homemade weapons and shit. Like these fucking convicts are coming, and like,
Dude,
it's crazy how fucking like rumors spread so fucking easily.
dude, it's so funny you say that, man, because I was walking to like a fast food restaurant today, and I saw this guy just standing out there, and he looked like maybe he might have been homeless, I don't know, but a young guy, and in his pocket he had a stick, and it was a pretty long stick, man, but he carved it where it had a point, and it looked like a weapon, dude. I'm like, okay, this looks like some Walking Dead shit. Like, I
Yeah.
walked past him. I was all like, I'm not looking at that big old point there. Like, why do you have that? Like, it made me think that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's people out there that already have this fucking mentality. They already some people think, "Oh, this is when the government's going to come for the fucking guns or whatever." They already have people that are being completely conspiratorial about it, you know. So, definitely people are on fucking edge, and the fucking rumors are fucking flying right now. I had somebody fucking send me some fucking chain letter going around about some fucking
Oh,
email, like, every day when you wake up, breathe 10 times in deeply or whatever, and come to find out it's all fucking bullshit. It might help for something else, from what I heard, some other fucking sickness, but not this, you know. And then the whole fucking hand sanitizer, and it's just gonna affect old people and really young people. That's all fucking really bullshit, because it's really fucking breathing the shit in.
yeah.
So
On the podcast was weird. Yeah, it's airborne. The podcast that Joe Rogan, the dude did mention something about young people are like it's such a low percentage with young people, right?
yeah,
Did you get? Yeah, that's what. It was kind of weird when he said that, man. I was like, oh shit, that's awesome, man.
yeah. Well, like,
Like,
they had one instance of, and I forget where it was, if it was a podcast or somebody tweeting. Somebody was saying that a 42-year-old healthy guy who was a snowboarder, either died or was in a coma from it. But
wow.
I can't exactly remember what it was
Oh,
from.
hey,
But
I gotta ask you. Oh, anyways, what were you
go
gonna say?
ahead.
No, because this is way off subject. I'll wait to after what you're
All
gonna
right,
say.
all right. Um, but I mean, I guess that's pretty much it, man. It's fucking crazy the way things are fucking going right now.
Yeah. So what I was gonna ask you is back to the Katrina. I just got to ask one question that I didn't get to get out there, but I was thinking, what happened to your collection during that time, dude?
My collection, well, I didn't really have like a collection back then. I just had
Oh,
my childhood stuff. Back then, the concept of collecting video games had never even crossed my mind. You know, it was
yeah.
just, I had my video games from when I was a kid. That's it. It
Oh,
never
yeah.
fucking dawned on me my entire life that collecting games would be even a fucking thing.
Dude,
Um,
we're old, man. I feel like Katrina wasn't that long ago, but I remember when it was. You're right, dude. Because back then, I was like, I just had like, I didn't care. I just started getting back into gaming back then, and I have
yeah.
so much shit that accumulated from then. But now, yeah, I was thinking you had that same collection always, but yeah, collecting hit real hard a little bit later, man. Especially, man, it hit really hard just about like I want to say about 3 to 5 years ago.
So
Everyone started getting back into it.
Hurricane Katrina was in August of 2005, right? Now I
Yeah,
knew it was in 2005. I just wanted to look it
yeah,
up to be sure, but so that hit in 2005. I mean, that was before like YouTube, at least before I got on YouTube, but I want to say YouTube was 2006 if I'm not
yeah. I was gonna say
mistaken.
2006. Yeah.
But like, yeah, that was before any concept. But anyways, my the house that I was sort of remodeling to make my own at the time uh, really got fucked up in Hurricane Katrina, and I lost a lot of my fucking childhood shit. I mean, I had all my fucking video game systems in there. I had a Nintendo 64, a Sega Genesis. I don't know if my Sega Saturn was still in there. I want to say I ended up selling that to someone, but I don't know. Maybe a Sega Saturn was in there. Maybe my Dreamcast. But I mean, those are the systems that I grew up with: the NES, the SNES, the Genesis, the Sega Saturn, the Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. But I think the only system that survived was my PlayStation 2 that I took with me when we
Yeah.
evacuated. You know, so
Hey.
I think I could be wrong, you know,
Yeah, you
on the
remind me of the
PlayStation 2.
Dreamcast days.
I could be
Yeah,
wrong
it
about
was
the PlayStation 2, but I think it was around that time because I want to say 2004 Madden was on the PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. So I think PlayStation 2 would have been the current console.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember back then. It's something like that. I'm trying to think of my Maddens. It had to be because I think I want to say, yeah. Because on the original Xbox was the last year they made the the Visual Concepts 2K made their game, the 2K5. I want to say. So yeah, it had to be
Yeah,
during
and that was the
during that
last year
time.
I ever played a Madden game. To be completely honest with you,
Oh, they gotten so good since then. But it's the same shit every year.
yeah, I'm just I guess I'm not really that much into sports as much as when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I was into
But
sports way back then, and not as much now.
I didn't lose a shit ton of shit. I lost a bunch of fucking consoles, you know, and 5 to 10 games for like each system, you know, but nothing fucking rare or anything like that, you know, just maybe fucking Mario's or Zelda, Metroid, or, you know, common shit like that, you know.
Dude, I remember back then, when eBay was first starting out, kind of. I don't know if this was like 2001. It was like early 2000s, real early. And eBay may have been around, but when I started using it, because I remember I started working that job, it was about 2001, and I remember NES games. I started getting back into it or something old school. I started going a lot of old games, and they were cheap, but I stopped real fast on collecting. I even bought, I'm not sure if you remember from the 80s, I bought a lot of those wrestlers. They were like rubber wrestlers, but they were from the WWF at the time, and they were
Oh yeah.
huge, man. They were the
Oh yeah,
huge rubber ones. I started,
everybody had the Hulk Hogan.
yeah, I started buying those, man, and I was like, dude, these wrestlers were so awesome back then. And then, yeah, and then I started buying the old games, but then I stopped. I wish I would have never stopped because I could have got a lot of good games cheap, man. And then all of a
What
sudden that spike went up.
I think, you know, I think at the time I want to say somewhere between uh there, like maybe a couple years prior to Hurricane Katrina. That's when you had like, I'm trying to remember the brand, the off brand that had came out. Was it Yomo or
Off brand what?
Yubu or some shit
Off
like
off
some shit like
eBay?
that. No, it was a clone console type of thing.
Oh,
You know,
I
and
don't remember
they
that.
made these like wireless NES controllers that the D-pad was very shitty. Um, but it was around that time like I ran into a retro store and I went and get Mike Tyson's Punch Out, whatever, and I started to like get some of my childhood games. And then around that time Hurricane Katrina happened and I fucking lost everything. But um, it wasn't until fucking years and years later that one night I was randomly watching Angry Video Game Nerd, and that was the only fucking gaming channel I had really ever saw before I
Oh
started
yeah.
collecting video games. Was Angry Video Game Nerd, and um, I remember I want to say I was watching the Wizard episode that he did, and I want to say whatever video it was, it showed he was sitting down on on his couch or whatever, and behind him was the big fucking shelf of Nintendo games and shit behind him. And at the time, I was collecting comics, so it was like, dude, you collecting these comics. You not even, if you read them, you putting them on an iPad and then reading them fucking digitally, you know, because this was 2012 or something, you know.
Yeah.
And so if you get a comic, it's going, you know, from the comic shop into a bag and a board, and then from going there to your fucking box in a closet, you know. So why not fucking collect video games? You know, I'd get much more use out of the shit, you know. That was like what gave me the fucking idea to do it, was seeing that guy's fucking shelf like that. I had never fucking even thought of the concept. Collect video
Yeah.
games, you know?
I want to tell you my thing with collecting video games. Always do. always, I always didn't care, dude. Especially my younger days, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I always had a bunch of games, and when the new system come out, I would give those games away to like someone, like a friend of mine that. Yeah, I have friends. One of my friends that remembers me giving them a Super Nintendo my collection. I don't remember that, but he's a good friend of mine still. So I do. I remember giving him some stuff, but I always gave my stuff away until GameStop came around. I started selling my old games, so I never collected them. Every time I moved onto a system, I never moved back. And then when I started getting older, I started wanting to go back to a lot of those systems. So I would buy. Once I figured out emulators, it was the greatest thing on my little cheap PC. But into collecting, dude, which I'm not a collector, but the one time that I wanted to be a collector and got into it was through, I want to say it might have been a Hancock video. It may have been, or Metal Jesus. I know it was Metal Jesus. I started watching Metal Jesus, and I started collecting 64 games. The only reason I went to 64 is because that's the system that I never had. I never had a 64. People would always talk about it, and I started buying 64 games, and they were good. I was like, man, some of them didn't age well, but it was good. I started going after all the heavy hitters, and I was going after a complete set. And lucky I gave up kind of fast, man, because I was even looking in the local listings and buying them in bulk and stuff. And I was getting into it. And then one day I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And that was even that long ago, man. I don't know if it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know what. But I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? And at that time, it was during a darker time, I guess, in my life where I was like, all I cared about was games. I was like, it was stupid shit, man. Nothing even stress out about. But that was my collecting phase. And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I've always gotten rid of games. I don't care. But I've kept some of them, like my 360 and a couple games I have here and there. But my collection I've always given them away, man, or always sold them back to GameStop. But now I regret doing that. And that's one thing. Just like you brought up a while back with the CDs, I wish I still had my CDs, dude.
Yeah.
It's a thing that kind of sucks, man.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a kid, 13 or 14, I think I got rid of my Sega Genesis at one point. And I got rid of a few games. I still kept a few games because somehow it ended up where I had the Sega Genesis Model 2 version, and then I also had a Sega Genesis Model 3 version. And I think I sold the Model 3 and a couple of games to some younger kid friends of mine to go get this game or something, but at some point I ended up getting the games back, not from them, but at a different place or whatever.
Yeah.
But speaking of retro games, right, this Spawnwave Plus guy, Spawnwave,
yeah,
he put out that video. GameStop is testing new retro concept stores and he thinks it could work, right? Now, jump right out of the gate. I understand maybe he's meaning, like selling games and also making some kind of experience in the store, right? To like set up fucking ways to play old games and stuff like that. But really, I'm kind of concentrating on the notion of GameStop continuing or ramping up taking in old trade-ins. And the thing is like I used to dumpster dive at my local GameStop, and when they started recently with that push, was that the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, whatever time it was, when they first started doing it, they started throwing away everything but the game itself, so boxes, manuals, inserts, system boxes, whatever. If it wasn't the game and it wasn't the system and it wasn't the controller and it wasn't the wires, they were just chunking it, and I started finding like NES manuals. I found a box one time, and it's just like, what in the hell is going on, right? Now, the way it ended up happening was kind of crazy, but the GameStop manager who was there at the time ended up getting moved to a different store, and then that store ended up closing. But the person that is working at my local GameStop now and took their place, I was able to get in good with, and they started saving all of this stuff for me instead of just throwing it away, you know. So I mean, to date, I've gotten all kinds of boxes. It's few and far between, but it's still pretty cool. Like every now and then I'll get a nice little hit, you know, like Super Nintendo box, or a game box to fucking DuckTales or something, you know.
Dude, that's cool, man.
But
I mean, it's not cool they're throwing them away, but it's cool that you actually got those from there.
well, yeah, well that's my issue though. It's like, you know, and to not be sort of anecdotal, I reached out to Camelot 331 because he covers a lot.
Shit.
He covers a lot of GameStop stuff, right? So I reached out to him and asked him, like, I don't even know if this guy worked for GameStop during this time period, but I asked him basically, do you have any experience with that? Did you see it? Did y'all do it? Whatever. And he said, quote, yeah, of course it happened all the time, end quote. You know, so it's definitely not, you know, my store, my local store, that's the only people that it, you know, the only store that it happened at. So that's kind of my worry. You have all this rare shit that everybody's fucking trying to get, and they're just like fucking throwing it away. So to me, I look at it like every time they start taking in games, a bunch of people get their shit thrown away. You know, and to me, that's an issue.
Dude, that's a big issue, man. Dude, you can't remake that shit. Anytime they try and make repros and shit like that, it's not the same, and you're getting rid of history. But I think this is the reason why GameStop does it. I don't know. I've never worked at GameStop. This is just my bullshit fucking mind. I think they're just cheap asses because they have to ship the stuff back to the corporate. I've heard that. I don't know where I read that with all the retro games. I think they say they just take them.
Yeah, I heard it at the same. I heard it too. It was like they sent it to some warehouse in Georgia or some.
It's
shit
over
like
here in
that.
Grapevine, over here in Texas, and the reason I guess that's where. Make sure, but if you saw one of it was kind of popular a while back. There was one of the listings of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, the blockbuster exclusive for the 64. It's the rarest game for the 64, and they had it with like a transparent case. It was a repro, and people were making fun of it, like they were still asking like 300 or 400, whatever at the time it was, and they were laughing about it, even though that's just a photo. But I think that's the reason why, because you could even find 3DS games, DS games. If you go dumpster diving right now, I see Damien. I follow Damien, good guy, and he still goes dumpster diving to this day, and he sees a lot of 3DS and DS cases of good games, like first party Nintendo games. So I think their company requires them to throw it away just to be cheap. So the shipping over there will be cheaper, but that's just my guess.
I know at some point they started this like clutter policy.
Yeah.
So with the game cases, they started using their own cases.
Dude, I think those cases.
Oh yeah, they're fucking brittle, fucking don't close right. All you know, but they started just fucking mass throwing away these things. It got to the point where it was just like, you know, I and this was still when I was like sort of negotiating with the GameStop manager to like start, you know, giving me unwanted shit, right? Because they've given me like a Wii U kiosk, I've gotten an Amiibo kiosk, 3DS kiosk, and like any sort of marketing, whatever, the fucking marketing strips that I have on my fucking game shelf, that's all shit from GameStop. So they would like tell me like, what games are you like, do you have any loose carts for the 3DS or DS, you know? And I'd fucking send the guy a fucking list of games. He'd look for the cases before they fucking threw them away, and he'd like pile them up or whatever, you know? And then
shit, that's awesome.
Before that, I had been dumpster diving. I got fucking 2-3 boxes full of fucking cases. I've kind of downsized it now because the whole thing with those cases, especially the DS cases, is they had the Game Boy Advance slot on some of the older ones. And, you know, you can, if you do the custom printouts, you can kind of make your Game Boy Advance loose collection kind of look more uniform on your shelf. So I had always planned on doing that, with some of my loose carts. I just never got around to it. So now there's just a fucking box full of those specific type of DS cases just sitting there, you know. But yeah, definitely at some point they just started fucking throwing DS and 3DS cases, you know, in the fucking dumpster. Sometimes you even find the fucking carts in the shell with them. That either they make a mistake, or it's something like, you know, pet dog, or fucking Hannah Montana this or whatever, you know, like fucking shovelware type shit that they don't even fucking sell for more than 99 cents, that they just like, fuck it, throw it, you know.
Yeah, dude. Man, yeah, they need to stop that shit if that's what GameStop's doing. But if they go into this retro thing, I think that's probably one of the only things that could save them. Now that Reggie Fils-Aimé's there, who knows what plans he has. But oh man, I'm gonna miss going into GameStop. I mean, it's already dead. Like I talked about, like we're never gonna have those where everyone gets excited for the newest game coming out, Call of Duty, whatever, and they have this massive party with pizza and video games there. Like that shit's done with. The whole shopping, the experience of shopping for like a new game, going there, that's all done with. It's gonna have to go to retro. It's the
Oh
only thing
yeah,
that makes sense.
add it to the list,
Has
you
to.
know. Add it to the list of, you know, I feel like in many ways theater is dying, you know. And to me that's just partly Netflix, partly being able to access so much content on your phone, but it's also due to the fucking unoriginality of movies nowadays, you know. But that's a separate fucking issue. But then, like, families, you know, looking forward to the weekend, going, everybody in the family and each picking out a movie, and then having a whole fucking weekend full of fucking watching movies with the family or whatever. Or, you know, you have a friend over and y'all fucking rent Demolition Man and y'all get to watch Demolition Man
Those were
together
good
or
times,
something.
man.
You know, that shit's fucking over with, you know.
Yeah.
So just add it to the fucking list. But
You
know-
no one remembers those good times. Man, you brought some memories. Man,
But
miss
no-
the video rental days.
so with GameStop, I'm not too familiar with the Reggie Fils-Aimé shit. I'm not sure what exactly he fucking plans on doing.
Oh no,
You
I
know,
don't think anybody knows.
I don't know if he's gonna fucking strap everybody with a fucking security bit so they can open up these cartridges and verify they're real or not. You know, because I
doubt it.
know my manager, I was helping him out trying to locate fakes. You know, which I find is relatively easy on like the Nintendo and Super Nintendo carts and shit like that. You know, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like on the backside, you know, say someone has an Earthbound reproduction cart, and they order an authentic one, and they're lucky enough to get one. They just send back the reproduction cart and say y'all sent me a fake, you know, and then get a refund, and they get, you know, one for free.
I think that's the reason why they're not gonna do, like you said, a security bit, like check them on site. They're all gonna have to go to corporate, get processed there, check real, and they're gonna have to keep some kind of a proof or something that what they shipped out or something, dude. There's gonna have to be something, some kind of, I don't know how it's gonna work, but what they could
do is they're probably not gonna do this, but what they could do is have you watched Breaking Bad before?
Oh yeah.
You know the sort of when they do the train robbery to get the methylamine, they have to put the seal back, because what happens, like even delivering groceries or something, when they close up the truck, they put one of these seals and it has a number on it, you know, and the person that sealed the truck has it in their log what the number is, whatever. So if that seal is broken or tampered with in any way, then, you know, the person delivering the truck, at some point something had to happen where it explains whatever's missing in there, right? So maybe they could do something like that, you know, where they issue some sort of policy like, look, film when you open it, if you want to, and show that the tag is still intact, it's not tampered with, but they're probably not going to go through that much trouble. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll see if it even goes that far. But the main point is their spawn wave, whatever, they were looking into retro. Wow. I think that's all they can do, man. And I know that Dungeon Dragon Knight over there is not gonna fucking work, dude.
Yeah,
How
well,
many fucking
another thing though is I think everybody wants to hate GameStop, right? And to a certain degree, I kind of see what people say, about GameStop for the most part. But at the same time, if you're a collector, there's so much that you can gain from a GameStop, as a collector. Um, like for example, when this guy started helping me out, I first of all I started asking him, is there anything that you into that you maybe collect? Or maybe the guy collected pop figures or some shit,
yeah.
So he ended up telling me, oh, I'm into this or I'm into that. So in addition to looking for certain games that he's looking for, I went to Domino's and I just got like a $30-$40 gift card, and I brought it to him. I was like, look, next time you guys have a midnight release, pizza's on me. Get y'all some fucking pizza. Or whenever. Just whenever the fuck. It doesn't have to be a midnight release. And I think that kind of solidified, sort of like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. He's going to fucking appreciate what I'm doing for him, So don't, if you're a collector, don't fucking like rule out GameStop as a method for getting shit, because people will bring their entire fucking childhood collection of shit, and what GameStop can take, they'll take, and the rest, a lot of times the customer will say, well, I don't want it, so just throw it, right? And at that point, they start asking people. If the person that's behind the register doesn't want it, they'll ask the next person that's working with them. If they don't want it, and you have some sort of relationship with them, well, guess who they fucking calling to just give that shit to, Or the person takes off for it. One time, one of these guys was just taking off with the rest of the games. Oh, I'll probably just put them on eBay or something. The fucking dude was like, well, I know this guy. He buys games. Why don't you give him a call? And the guy was like, oh, well, why don't you, since you know him or whatever. So the dude texted me. I was there within fucking 15 minutes, and that's how I got my Ninja Gaiden 3 copy, So it's just like, don't rule out GameStop, in that way.
Yeah, but I have too many good memories at GameStop. Yeah, they got me through, man. Like times when I just just sold my games because I didn't care for them, and I got actually quite a bit of money. Even recently, when I got my it's been like a year and a half, I don't know when I upgraded to my PS4 Pro, and they gave me quite a few. And actually, I traded in some of my Switch games. And I was like, dang! And on purpose with the Switch games, I have them in a Ziploc baggie. And I traded in so many Switch games, and I give them loose. I keep the cases though, because you could always make money off the cases. But it's not like I even sell them. I just have them there taking up space. So I sold
I don't
them,
know why I do the same fucking thing. I keep the cases every time.
They don't give you extra money, so it's like,
right.
What the fuck? Like, you could hook somebody up or what, So the guy even called me out on it. He's all like, man, you don't got the cases. Only one time a guy called me out. Then I'm like, I go, what's the difference? Like, you guys are giving me the same amount. Like, it doesn't matter. They take them in anyway. So I thought it was kind of wrong that one guy actually called me out on that. You're not supposed to tell a customer that shit.
Yeah, especially when a lot of the times they just fucking throw them away.
Yeah, they throw them away, or they
start a pile, and then when they gotta fucking declutter, they start throwing shit away left and fucking right, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I got pissed off one time. I didn't make a scene, but I wanted to make a scene. It was over something stupid. It was I was there, and I don't know if it was Poi or one of these Switch games, a game that no one fucking buys. I wanted to buy. But at that time, when the Switch had first come out, it was still kind of new, and they had a new copy. I'm like, I don't do used copies. I fuck used copies. I looked them up, and one store had the new copy. Like they were hard to find. So I went over there, got it, went out of my way to get it, and they gave it to me, and the case is all open, and it was one of those display ones, so the that they actually open it and they put their
Yeah.
own stupid seal on it. It's like a
Right.
little circle.
Yeah.
I was mad. I'm like,
And
this is
if
not new.
anything, it actually fucking puts the case in worse condition, because that fucking sticker is really hard to fucking come off, and when it does, it leaves residue all over the fucking case.
And
So
if
it's
been
like,
there a while, yeah.
it would be better if they didn't put that sticker on at all, you know?
Yeah. Yes, it's fucking annoying. And one time, dude, this is
But
a while back.
but speaking of that exact fucking issue, right? I don't know if you noticed, but I think it was Smash JT that had made a video, some theorizing that GameStop should maybe do some sort of deal with limited run games or something.
Oh yeah,
And the guy actually one of the guys at Limited Run Games actually responded and said something to the effect of like, well, they would have to make sure that they would never do their policy that you just mentioned, where they put that fucking sticker or whatever, that's always not sat well with them. So they'd have to guarantee that would never happen with any of their games. And it was kind of like, well, that's pretty cool. You know, I kind of like that they're at Best Buy. I kind of don't want them to go to GameStop, but you know, I'm not super opposed to it. But anyway, I was just adding that little tidbit. But go on with your second story.
Oh, I don't even remember what my second story. I don't think it was anything. Oh yeah. It was nothing important. It just was like one thing that kind of pissed me off is that they kind of is their use section, how bad they push it. Is I was buying for my friend Luigi's Mansion on the 3DSs a couple years back. It was cheap. I was gonna get it to him for his birthday, and because he had wanted it, he had named a couple games that he had wanted one time, and I went to go get it, and they just had a used copy, and I was all like, no, I want it new, and they're like, dude, like you know, they're trying to like. I said I want it fucking new, give it to me new. They wouldn't shut the fuck up about me getting it used, dude, and that pissed me off. I go, they're like, it's the same. It looks like it's a new condition. I was all like, it's for a birthday, man. And I want it like sealed. I want it sealed. Or wait, dude, I'm lying to you. I'm getting the story mixed up. Yeah, dude, what happened originally, I went to a store and they had that shit. The one that I just told you. So I had to go to another store, and that store gave me shit about it being used. And I was just so frustrated, dude. I'm like, dude, I just want a new sealed copy because I'm getting it a gift. I just went to another store, said no because it was like their last copy. I was so pissed, dude. I just don't like when they do that shit. New is new, used is used, man. If you're gonna open it and sell it back to somebody, count it as used, take it as a loss, and that's your fault, man. You opened it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So, did you see this Naughty Dog shit that's going on?
Dude, I was trying to keep up with it, and I know you did a video on it, and I have my own thoughts on it. And
well, like even going further, Yong Ya made a video about it today. He was mostly on their side for it.
Yeah, him, and I don't know if it was Clean Prince Gaming or somebody else. I'm trying to think. Somebody else that's pretty popular did a video that was also siding with Naughty Dog. But to me, that was Jason Schreier's motive, was to side for Naughty Dog.
Right. It was to start like a hashtag and a movement against Naughty Dog, right?
But you notice it took off a little late on their end, because you made that video way before. I mean, in YouTube time, that's old. You were the first person I saw that covered it, and that's why I'm like, no one's talking about it. It must not be a big deal, but my sense is very much like yours. Like,
well, I think what happened was one of the guys that left, and I don't remember his name, but one of the developers that left ended up seeing the article that the Jason Schreier guy wrote, and ended up publicly saying that, you know, Naughty Dog told him when he left not to, you know, talk about the whole crunch thing, right? Yeah. So Yong Ya was covering that. That's at least what Yong Ya was covering, and then he brought up the whole article and everything, of course, you know, but I think that's why maybe he missed the article. I don't know, or maybe he just thought it wasn't, you know, potent enough a topic to talk about yet. But when this other guy mentioned it, you know, that Naughty Dog was telling them to not talk about it, I guess then he decided to make a video about it.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. This is what I was confused about the article. Not confused. This is where I have a problem, actually. It seemed like Jason Schreier emphasized on that construction accident as, all right, he didn't even like talk about the construction workers. They were fired, whatever. But it was like, why was I even needed to be put in there if you're just gonna,
It's like
kind
he
of dog
shit on
on?
him and then completely forgot about him. You know,
Yeah.
it I don't know. Like, to be fair, like I wish we could speak to these construction workers. You know, to be fair, this is probably highly unlikely, right? But in the event that someone that was on this construction crew sees this fucking video, please reach out to me. I'd like to know more about the fucking story, right? But what they ended up saying was a large metal pipe had fallen from above and landed right next to their desks, right? Now, who's to know if it's a pipe? I mean, if it's a pipe, are we talking about plumbing, or is it like a fucking a beam, an I beam? You know,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? But you know, they say the owners of the building reacted quickly, firing that construction team, hiring a new one, and installing new safety measures. Like, what the fuck safety measures, new safety measures are they putting in place? Like, you have all sorts of fucking governing fucking agencies over these fucking rules, like OSHA and all these fucking mandated fucking shit, you know, like wear your PPE, personal protective equipment. You got to go through all these fucking classes, bloodborne pathogens, fucking, you know.
MSDS.
Exactly, dude.
OSHA's and all these companies. Yeah, all that's already done. When they say that, dude, all right, first of all, I doubt that these construction workers were doing hardcore construction on the ceiling while these people were working on the game at their desk. And that's the way it made it sound. I'm pretty sure something happened afterwards.
Yeah, like were they
whatever it
switching
was.
out a fucking ballast in a fucking fluorescent setup? You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
And a fucking ballast fucking fell down. You know, like, what the fuck is a pipe, right? What are they calling a pipe? I wonder how much Jason Schreier actually fucking, you know, looked into that matter. But to me, it was kind of like, no fucks were given about this fucking crew that in the middle of all this, I don't know how long ago this happened, but I'm assuming it was relatively fucking, you know, recent. And if it was relatively recent, then these guys still able to fucking make any sort of money right now? Are they out of fucking a job in the middle of this fucking crisis that we under right now? No fucks given. These guys were fucking fired, and it just fucking makes no sense to me. Is it possible that one guy was responsible, but they fired the entire fucking crew? You know, it just it has this like high society fucking vibe, like, get the fucking peasants out of here. You know, they fucked up or whatever. And, you know, maybe it could have been bad. But was it so bad? Like, maybe the day crew is the actual crew that fucking left the potential accident, the fallen object hazard, as fucking OSHA would fucking refer to it as. Maybe the day crew is the ones that fucking left that there, you know. And the night crew comes in, you know, and it fucking, you know, goes off or whatever, and it's actually the day crew's fault. But they just glossed the fuck over it.
Oh, they give a fuck about the accident. It was more about like, oh, they're overworked, and I know Schreier, I believe it was him that was like pushing this agenda about overworking and all this crunch time and all this, like looking out for other developers and whoever's involved inside these these companies, these gaming publishers and stuff like that. All I gotta say is, man, you're working for Naughty Dog, like you said in the video. You're not working for no damn indie company. And if you feel like you don't like your job, just like any job, go look for another one, man. Like, there's times I felt overworked, and it's a company, man. And
well, my thing is, like, you know, I want Jason Schreier to go tell Matt and Trey, who make South Park, that they gotta stop crunching over there. That it's just not worth it. You know, like, those guys, they want to be able to keep up with current topics, right? So if there's a little short documentary that they made about South Park that kind of shows their process when they start a season, how hard these guys are working on South Park during that season, and they're showing people sleeping there. You know, they're taking little 2-hour naps and starting their day over completely again. You know, and literally like handing in the fucking episode a few minutes before the fucking deadline to even be able to air it. You know, that to where it's just like every week the fucking clock wipes and they got to repeat that whole fucking process the entire fucking season. But you know what? That's what the entire fucking time off between seasons is for. They get a long fucking break. And in this article, he mentions that they have a fucking long fucking break in between the fucking games being made. You know? Yeah. So it's just like, to me, you're in the major leagues. You're fucking playing for one of the best fucking teams. If you don't know that you're going to have to sacrifice, like, I kind of don't feel sorry for these guys. I can empathize to a certain degree because I do feel like to a certain extent that Americans kind of work too hard and we don't have enough fucking vacation time and shit like that. So at a certain degree, I kind of empathize with them. But I'm certainly not ready to fucking start a hashtag over these guys. Not when myself, am getting fucked out of overtime on a normal fucking basis, you know, in the middle of a fucking oil field crash that I can't exactly fucking choose and pick my fucking jobs at the moment. Like certainly someone who works at Naughty Dog can. You telling me that after 3 to 6 months of fucking experience working for Naughty Dog that they can't just pick, that they don't have just carte blanche over fucking any developing fucking studio out there? These guys worked for fucking Naughty Dog. It even says on there that they fucking that they worked on it. Either it was Uncharted 4 or the Lost Legacy. So yeah, they should have fucking open season on whatever fucking developing company they want to work for. Go work for a fucking company that's not making such a fucking anticipated fucking game. You know?
And I mean, it sucks, dude. That game is, I mean, it's coming out at a time like they can't delay it too much, man. The new systems are coming out. It really is crunch time over there. So I think that's the reason why Schreier put stress on it, man. You just want to make an article that gets out there, dude. Like, I'm not a big fan of Schreier, dude. So I don't really.
Yeah, no, me either. You know, he makes a lot of these, you know, super fucking stupid articles. Yeah,
especially his view on like YouTube.
But that's Kotaku, you know, altogether. You know, that's fucking Kotaku altogether. But you know, Neil Druckmann. That's one of the things. You know, Neil Druckmann has said somewhere, I forget. He said something like that he took inspiration from Anita Sarkeesian, right? And it's kind of like you go back and forth between whether some of these people believe all the political stuff that they say or whether or not it's just a front, you know, just to I don't know, drum up some sort of movement for the game or whatever, you know. But you can't tell me that the dude is this super woke person but then is also like super capitalist, you know, and is like, yeah, crunch time or whatever, you know. Yeah. So I just don't even know. I don't even know, dude, man.
How long has that game been in development? It's been a long time, right?
It's been a while, and the article makes it seem like the game is like fucking some glitchy mess or something that they keep having to fucking delay or something, you know?
Yeah. If it ain't ready,
and then
ready,
another thing, what ended up coming out that I saw in Yong Ya's video was that a lot of the team that's working now actually come from like Pixar and DreamWorks and like movie animation, you know, working on Toy Story or Shrek or whatever, that they don't have a bunch of experience in video games, so it's taking a lot longer than it would have if the same teams would have stayed on to make the game, you know. So I don't know, man. Uh, I think the reason I made a video about it is because I feel like the article is a little tone deaf when it comes to the average working American as far as whether or not they're gonna give a shit about this. You know?
Exactly.
Did you hear about Review Tech USA getting swatted?
Yeah, I did, and I happened to catch a clip on there, and yeah, dude, it's funny because swatting, dude, was a newer term a while back, and where I first heard of it was through Review Tech. He was talking about that one dude that got caught swatting somebody and somebody got killed, and he's like, I don't know, 20, 30 years in prison or whatever. I don't remember how many years. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Some new term that the young kids use. So basically, if I remember correctly, swatting is, all right, you're gonna have to help me
Yeah,
explain it. Is like when they call the cops and act like somebody's has a gun or committing suicide or something, and they give the
yeah.
address to like
They'll
someone,
set up
a
like a
YouTuber or
hostage
someone.
situation or something.
Yeah,
You know?
they'll set up the situation where the cops have to go in there like ready to like, all right, we may get shot at or we need to get this crazy motherfucker, but they falsely accuse, they falsely give the address of somebody that's either streaming or somebody that's basically a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, whatever, right? Somebody. So it's like,
Yeah. A
when I
public
saw
figure.
yeah, and
But
someone,
yeah,
and
somebody
how did it work in
that
the last
somebody
one?
that's
Someone
gonna
got
be live streaming, you know, because that's the full
Yeah.
payoff. They get to watch it, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And what was the thing that happened where that dude got killed? They actually sent it to someone else's address, not the right
Yeah,
person.
they sent it
And
to
an
the wrong
innocent
person, and an innocent person got killed.
got killed. It's fucking crazy. But when Review Tech,
And that was a guy named Tyler Barris. He was
right.
25 years old, and they gave him when all is said and done, he's gonna have served between 20 and 25 years.
Yeah,
in
and that
jail.
motherfucker went bragging about it. That's how he got busted, right? Fucking. He's
But you know,
bragging about
here's
swatting
the
people.
thing that I want to add on to that, right? Is I would go further than that, you know, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some things that I'm not thinking of, you know, but to me, before this Tyler Barris guy swatted this innocent person, you know, someone along the lines initially leaked that info, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now maybe in this specific case, no. But in Rich's case, I would think that someone initially leaked that info, you know, and it traded places, and it went from this Facebook group to that Reddit to you know, this forum.
Yeah.
And then eventually this one cocksucker fucking saw it and decided, I'm gonna fucking, you know, swat Rich or whatever. To me, all the people, if they can prove the chain where this guy got the information from here, then they should follow the fucking chain back to its origins, and everyone fucking sharing it down the fucking line. If the person got killed or they didn't, in either case, they should be charged with accessory to attempted murder, or if the person dies, accessory to fucking murder. And to me, that's the fucking way that you fucking, you know, stop this shit. You get all these motherfuckers that are leaking the information also.
I agree with you, but the truth is, what I believe is the truth is that they'll only go really far if someone gets murdered. If someone doesn't, like in Rich's case, they'll consider it like a prank call, and that's what fucking sucks.
Yeah,
they don't
I feel like they're gonna do that.
And but if for the listeners who didn't catch the Rich thing, it was kind of crazy because Rich is streaming. And he just gets, I guess, what I saw, the clip I saw, I think he gets a knock on his door.
Did he say that he was in contact with authorities before, letting him know that, you know, he's a YouTuber and he has controversial
I'm not
opinions?
sure. I know he praised the cops, like he was like they were professional, they were this. I don't know if he knew about them in the past or what. I don't know about all that, but I just know when the cops came in, they were like, okay, you know, they were real chill about it, and it seemed really quick. It seemed like Rich, I mean, who wouldn't be fucking pissed? Be fucking like, what's going on? And Rich, he had to know right away he got swatted because he came back like, I got swatted. Like his tone of voice changed. but I think he handled it really fucking good, especially still being live. And I think the cops really handled it really good instead of fucking freaking out and
Yeah,
shit like that.
that's the fucking way they almost have to be when it comes to like swatting, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. You know, because one of these times maybe it backfires on them and that it's someone real and they alerted the person to them, you know, coming to the house. You know, then it can end badly or whatever if it's a real situation. But I don't know. That's why I think anyone that's live streaming, especially if you put your opinions out there, you know, you might want to fucking place a call to whoever would be in charge of the fucking local SWAT for your area, to where they know it's possible that someone eventually may call in some sort of situation like this, and if it's you, odds are it's a fucking some fake bullshit, you know. And I know
Yeah.
people that have fucking done that, that have preemptively uh, called their local authorities to try and get a leg up on shit like that. And it's just like, damn, what the fuck? For someone having an opinion, for someone doing something that you don't agree with, you know?
Or someone
Like,
just being childish and wants to fucking just get a laugh. I mean,
I
it could
feel,
be whatever reason.
you know, like, what reason would they have for swatting Rich? Because they think he's an e-beggar, you know?
I doubt it was any of those people. Rich has a different audience. You know, those people are still in there. It could be any reason.
I
Mostly,
mean,
he was
he
starting
has
to
a
get
lot
political.
of haters that call him e-beggars, you know?
Yeah, but recently, before that, he was getting political, and then he said, "I'm gonna stop."
Yeah,
You know,
that's
so it could
possible.
be that.
Maybe it's
You know,
someone that is resulting because of the political stuff, you know?
hey, speaking of him being an e-beggar, I don't know. I saw a tweet today, and I didn't want to just be like e-beggar, but it was kind of funny because I mean, it's not e-beggar, I'm just making fun of them. But he said because of what's going on, all the events, you know, Corona, that he's gonna be doing more live streaming all the time. He's gonna do less videos because there's less topics to cover, and he's gonna be live streaming. I'm like, bullshit.
Who are
I
we
saw
talking
one
about?
live stream, Rich
Oh,
VTech.
okay.
I saw one live stream one time, and somebody was donating like $200, $500, like nothing, dude. And he's just like he was real cool about it, like, oh, thank you, you know, this and that, whatever. It's like they were donating big money, not no dollar, $2. So I would live stream too. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. It is fucked up. If I was his position, I don't know, man.
I
It's
don't know.
like you
See,
can't be
like
against him for live
I
streaming.
feel like some of the e-beggar community don't even like the anti e-beggar community doesn't even have an issue with that because they feel like at least some of them that I've seen commenting feel like at least in a live setting that they're performing live and they're interacting with their audience, you know, so people can
Yeah.
send what they want
Oh, dude.
to a certain
e
degree, I guess. But I mean, they still give Hancock shit for that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Any
That-
typical person in the fucking community is gonna have fucking completely different thoughts or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah, now a lot of people in that scene, not everyone. Some of the people are really good, but a lot of people in that scene will, oh, if you got that icon to donate, oh no, but dude, if you're streaming, dude, that's what it is. It's about donations. Not that the streamer has to go in there thinking about that, but it is like I think it's welcomed, you know. But when it starts getting crazy like that, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about because you can tell when a streamer does it on purpose and they stream on purpose for the money, and you can tell when people just have it there. It's a
yeah,
difference. There's a difference. But I guess I don't really see a big issue with it. It's whatever. But speaking of anti e-burger community,
yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed. I just got the tweet from Simon Stevens. Shout out to Simon Stevens. He put out a tweet out there that the immoral got his channel taken down.
Well, that's what I was looking for my phone right now. I actually knew about it already. So I
Yeah.
was trying to go double check, but I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna check right here
All right.
on my channel to see if it's still down.
Yeah. I happened to catch that video, dude, and I was doing yard work outside whenever I saw it. So I kind of was listening to it. I didn't see, but you know, he did mention a couple names in there, me, and he mentioned, you know, who the false striker is, Canadian
Right.
Gamer. he mentioned him in that video of him criticizing, it wasn't even a bad video. But I think, according to that tweet, Simon was just joking around. He was joking around. He goes, "Well, you know who he was talking about his last video." Like, it was stupid, but I don't know, man. I don't know who would have done it. Why? I'm not putting any blames on Canadian Gamer yet. I don't even know the situation. I don't know why his video got taken down. I don't know anything about it. I don't know why. Oh, his whole channel got taken down. It wasn't even a video, so it could be anybody.
Someone said both. I didn't even. Someone said both of his channels got taken down.
Oh my god, dude.
Simon actually inboxed me as well before we started recording.
Oh shit. Out of all the people, dude, like I said in the video, out of all the people in the anti-e-beggar community, dude, he's the one that I think is, like, his videos, there's nothing wrong with him. Like I actually enjoy his content. Like,
well, under the new
sometimes.
guidelines, I think he's opening himself to some shit, that eventually they'll probably keep banning his channel because he's mostly talking about John Hancock, so under the new guidelines. But if we were YouTube, before all these terms of service fucking updates, I would say there's really nothing wrong with his channel terms of service wise, but I still think, to make content on like one fucking person it doesn't seem healthy to me,
Oh,
but
yeah.
He is, to me, he's the one guy in that community that has, this moral code, I guess you would go by, because I see him all the time, like, saying shit, don't dox people here, don't do this or don't do that or whatever, so and me and him have had like a run-in in the past and whatever, but that's my opinion on the guy.
I guess that's what I was kind of trying to say, but you stole the words from me. Like, I had a small situation with him where he kind of said something in one of my comments, and then even, in that video, he mentions it because he had mentioned another video that he kind of like was wrong about it, and there's nothing between us. He's I guess a decent person. I don't know him personally, but what he comes off as, he doesn't.
Well,
come off
here's
as
the
an asshole.
here's the thing, he, in this video that's now down, he calls out Canadian Gamer. Now, to be fair, he says some shit about you too, right?
Yeah.
But he calls out Canadian Gamer for the false striking. What excuse did Canadian Gamer give again? I can't. That he didn't know.
He didn't know.
That you
He didn't know.
And Immoral says like that. Come on, that's complete bullshit or whatever, which is absolutely fucking 100% spot on. Like, that didn't. Is the dude not watching all of the rest of fucking YouTube? Are you serious? All the fucking channels he fucking criticizes, and he's never fucking seen those channels use clips from other people? Get the fuck out of here, dude. This self-described fucking funny man, comedian guy, or whatever, someone that uses comedy, to me, he brings shame to fucking comedy. Because you make this fucking video, making fun of his mic, like roasting him. And what does he do? He fucking calls it bullying. Can you imagine? Can you imagine fucking like Bill Burr or fucking George Carlin crying that someone's fucking bullying them because they're poking fun at, what their shtick is? The whole fucking thing is laughable to me. But like, one of the things that Immoral says was, like, for example, the shit that happened with you and Canadian Gamer, where you made the video and you put his full name out there. Now that's something.
All right. Let me start talking. I'm gonna start talking. I put out his email address. It's not my fault he put out his name on the fucking email. How was I supposed to know? I know he criticized me that you knew what you're doing, this and that. Hey, it was an email. I don't know for sure if that was 100% his name. He could have used any name. It could have been his first name. It wasn't even Cameron. He's made that public in his videos, Cameron, and people call him Cameron in the comments. So I put that together, and I don't remember what the other name was, and probably shouldn't say because we'll get a privacy strike on here. It could have been a middle name. Like people put out my name out there, and I was like, shit, man, did I have my name out there? And like I said, it was my name got put out there when the striker Rick and Darius was on my Facebook, which had my name. I'm not putting blame on him. At the time, I didn't. And then I was like, oh shit, I think maybe on Instagram. Other than that, but they went to my Facebook. That's when I was all like, when Prince of Fallen, he went to my Facebook. How did they know that was that Facebook? That was like my personal Facebook. You know, I had the Overthink Gaming. Nowhere did I have it written. It was just in a banner, so there's no way somebody could have typed that and found it. I think because Darius was on there, he may have gave a link to it. I don't know.
Well, as far as I knew, I think I even told you this in the past. Prince of Fallen was talking to 8-Bit Eric, and Prince of Fallen said, Jason, it says it's taken down by Jason Garcia, and 8-Bit Eric just fucking blurted it out, like not even thinking about anything, is at least what he said. That's Overthink, you know?
Yeah.
So then Prince of Fallen made the video, Overthink Gaming, whatever.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I forgot I did show it in the video.
That's sort of like, I've spoken to you several times, right, over the phone, text message, whatever about it, and the way you've always rubbed me about it was like you didn't really see it as a big deal, like YouTubers having their names in the public sphere just comes along with the territory of being a YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know, is that the way you felt? Because I'm really like trying to, I guess, gauge your opinion on this.
All right. The way, all right, I kind of feel like that because most YouTubers have their name anyway. But also at the same time, because they went to my personal Facebook, it felt a little bit different. You know, like it felt a little bit different because they were showing down like, come on, man, that's my personal shit. I felt like that was my personal space. You can know my name, but showing my shit was different. But whether it was wrong, nah. I mean, at the same time, I'm like, okay, whatever. Everyone fucking knew about it. So I kind of don't care. But let's go back to the main thing about what he criticized about me. I showed his email. It's not my fucking fault. The way I see it, it's not my fucking fault. That's the email he showed. Now, if I would have showed an email that was blurred, oh, it could have been anybody. Oh, no. And all this, because of the shit that was going on, I felt like I had to show his email. And I chuckled because I'm like, I thought it was his first name and middle name. I didn't know what, but I chuckled because I'm like, dude, this is going to have to be his email. And he's going to be mad because it really is his email that I'm showing. And whether it was his name or not, I thought it was a chance, but I was showing his email. I was like, no big fucking deal. But obviously there is some privacy thing. It was a manual review and Google took it down. I was going to re-upload that video, but I'm like, dude, why? I put a lot of work into that video. I did with the little movie scene and all that, but I'm like, why? It's fucking stupid news. But it got views like that, dude. It got a lot of views for being Canadian gamer. I guess people liked it when I roasted them.
Right.
But
right.
I didn't see myself as being wrong, but obviously it was if Google took it down. So, you know, if the dude was a reasonable motherfucker, I'd be like, hey, I apologize, whatever. But he's not. So I'm not going to apologize for that. That was the email he used with all the shit going on, false striking me. I felt like I had every right to use that name, whether his dumbass put his real name or not. That was his real email, and I had no control over that. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. Well, did you remember? If you remember when I first learned that you had that in the video, I was like, oh shit, dude. Like that's his first and last name. I don't think this guy has ever put anything like that out publicly. So yeah, I haven't made it a secret that I felt like that was a mistake or whatever. But to say that it's the same thing as like again, it's a mistake. Fine, right? But to act like it's the same exact fucking thing as trying to put someone's name out there, hoping somebody goes to somebody's house or whatever, it's not. Now, I'm fucking 100% sure that when you did that, you didn't have any fucking malicious intent. Like, man, I hope somebody shows up at this guy's house. You know?
Nah, no.
It's not the same thing. Was it a mistake? Yeah, I think it was. Again, like you
Yeah.
just said, Google took it down, so obviously it was. You know,
Yeah.
but this alpha nerd guy, right? Because really, I look at this guy as the person that really kind of restirred all this shit up, right?
All right.
I feel like he's just kind of stirring the pot here in doing that, right? Because
All right,
first of all,
I
like,
need to get more information on that. I'm a
well,
little lost on that one.
well, as far as I saw, he was the one that issued the challenge for everybody to fucking bring shit up again and apologize for it. Right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fucking talking about. Is this guy was like, hey, either that or he really thinks like people have to fucking like apologize for it. I guess it's possible, but I just see it as like disingenuous, like he just wants everybody to just start fucking talking about the bullshit again. And here we are, we talking about it, you know,
Yeah.
but it just seems a bit disingenuous to me. Like this guy, Alpha Nerd, right? He used to he's real life fucking friends or was at some point, I can't tell with all this bipolar bullshit going on, that he fucking makes this video like completely fucking shitting on Darius. And I will say, like, regardless of fucking how I feel about this fucking dude Darius, right? The shit that this fucking dude said, who was supposedly a fucking friend of this guy,
He
the
said
way
his
he
real
put
name.
the way he put him on blast, talking about his personal life for everyone on the fucking internet to fucking hear, like,
Yeah.
you, to me as a fucking friend or an ex-friend, that I wouldn't do that to my fucking worst enemy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, like, to me, I just don't trust that guy based off of that. Because nowhere in my fucking right mind would I ever fucking do that to another fucking person, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
even
never
if I
thought about it
became
like that.
enemies with you, I would not fucking take our conversations and be like, this guy's a fucked up individual. Look, man, he's talking about this and he's talking about going to a girl and he fucking got her all drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's a bad example, right?
No, but that's kind of the example that Keith
But
that he used.
I'm just fucking
taking
saying, like,
strippers.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
put one of my friends or ex-friends' fucking personal life on blast for the whole fucking world to fucking see. And then he ends up fucking taking the videos down, right? And now he's friends with him, and then he goes back and forth between the two, and then now he's trying to get us to all fucking talk about it again. I just think that the dude is fucking disingenuous, man. I really do. Like, what's his
You know,
fucking motives for doing that? You know? So
I
we can
never
all
saw
talk
this.
about it again?
I don't know if it was that or it could have been what I was thinking. I was thinking it was you know, a lot of shit's going on in the world, you know.
And
obviously,
I could
and
be
everyone's
wrong.
getting
I'm
sensitive.
asking.
Yeah.
If this
I'm
guy
gonna give
sees
you-
this, I'm asking, what are you trying to get at by trying to get people to fucking apologize? Like, what the fuck do I have to apologize for? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
It just sounds like some crybaby bullshit, you know?
Dude, that's exactly how I see it. But it could be, I doubt it's something about the coronavirus and all the feelings getting involved. I think it's more the community is falling apart, dude. That's what it is. And
There-
get everyone
that
together
community-
and let's group hug. Let's do a group hug. You know, I think
Yeah,
that's how I
that
took it.
community is since the fucking podcast we put out, they've been fucking having nothing but infighting since.
Oh fuck yeah! And
Since.
dude, and they would never talk about me and you.
Immoral,
They would never talk about us.
Immoral fucking puts out this video, right? Going against CG, going against Canadian Gamer, and somehow his fucking channel is down. Whether someone issued a strike and now he's privated his channel. It says this video is no longer available because the uploader has closed their YouTube account.
Oh shit!
So I don't know. I just don't know. You know?
Yeah, but back to the thing. I think it is them falling apart and doing the big group hug. And I tried to mention in a video, and I kind of said it was like kind of weak. I think if I didn't cut that part out, but yeah, dude, I did say sorry to one person, and it was it was after Alpha Nerd's video. But I wanted to just prove a point that, like, I mentioned Eric. That's who I said, like, I don't want to say sorry. I don't say sorry to nobody, which is kind of how I am. I mean, exactly.
No,
how
I mean,
am. If unless I'm
I
wrong.
enjoyed the video, and I felt like you
Yeah.
were holding yourself to account on that. You
Yeah,
know?
and that's one thing I never had an opportunity to say. Like, I told Eric that I had told him sorry, so I just never actually mentioned it. But that's just one person I think like, yeah, that's the only person I would say sorry to is because like, knowing what I know about Eric now and talking to him more, it's like he's a cool dude, man. He's doing his own thing. More power to him, man.
But the thing is, like, a lot of these people come on here fucking saying, like, oh, you're just a fucking clout chaser. You're a clout chaser or whatever. Like,
Hey, I want to add one thing with that.
Go ahead.
Before you start, keep
Go
your
ahead.
point. The name clout chaser. I challenge people who are in our community. Who is the first person in our community to use that term clout chaser? I want to take credit for that. Back in me and Gamestop days, I was calling him one, but before that, was it ever used? I don't know. Anyways, I just
I
want
have
to take
no
credit
idea. I want to say the first
it's
time
a popular term.
First
in the
time I
community.
ever heard that was like fucking like Keemstar fucking FaZe
Oh, yeah.
Clan bullshit. That was the first
Yeah,
time I
but
ever
in our
heard that term.
community, like back then, like I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. I'm just trying to say that to troll, but I honestly think I was. But if I wasn't, oh well, fuck it. But anyways,
Well,
go with your story.
at any rate though, so they'll fucking say like, oh, you're just a clout chaser or whatever, and it's just
It's
like
annoying.
I don't get this fucking point at all. At fucking all. Who doesn't want their fucking channel to be fucking seen by people?
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I've never looked up the fucking definition of a fucking clout chaser, but I'm assuming it's meaning like you get fucking recognition for your fucking work.
Basically, yeah.
You know? You get views,
It's like
you get
yeah.
seen, you know?
Basically for that clout, man. That clout, like.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be some sort of fucking flex guy like fucking Rice Gum or these other examples of people fucking flexing or whatever. No. But do I want my fucking channel seen? Who doesn't want their fucking channel seen? Whoever titles their videos and uses tags wants their fucking channel seen. All right? And whoever fucking comments on a fucking channel wants their comment to be seen. Otherwise, why the fuck would you come and comment? So if I'm a fucking cloud chaser, you want some sort of recognition in that fucking comment as well. You fucking dumb fuck.
Yeah, I don't pay attention.
And to top all of that off, these people that fucking idolize Rick is a fucking cloud chaser like a motherfucker. Right?
Yes.
He's never acknowledged any of this bullshit, right? And I know for a fact, if it would be John Hancock or Metal Jesus, he would engage the shit, whatever is being said, right?
Yeah.
But he's waiting for some of that so he can take advantage of those fucking views, right? So
yeah,
you gonna tell me that guy's not a fucking cloud chaser that doesn't want fucking views when he's saying on his fucking videos that he fucking wants views? And then another thing with this fucking guy, right? He says recently something about he'd love to have more time to devote videos to other fucking topics. Meanwhile, not realizing it kind of fucking throws out one of his fucking arguments that he's been fucking repeating ad nauseum in his fucking videos for the longest time, which is like, it's so effortless to fucking make videos, Why does he need more time? Why does he need more time? It's so effortless. Just fucking do that, dude. Doesn't matter that you work a fucking job. It's effortless, man. It doesn't take much time. Do the extra fucking content for your fucking fans, man. They don't deserve it. They watching ads on your channel. They don't deserve more fucking, videos for the fucking ads that they watch, getting you money. Fuck you, dude.
Dude, he really he's not the same anymore, man. He's just, I feel like he lost that thunder, dude, that he had, and other channels are running with it, whether it be Darius or whoever, man. Like, even though Darius is straight up dumbass, dude, like I can't take his shit serious.
All right, everyone, that's gonna do it for now. You've been watching Over the Top podcast. We do this every couple weeks, so I guess we'll see you next time, Jason.
Yep. That's about it. You guys take care of yourself. That shit's serious. Make jokes, but it's serious.
Yeah, y'all be careful out there. Later.
Later.